same Liverpool. Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 0. It's your boy OJY Sam here, back again with another video and in a totally different new location. Yeah, because I'm in Spain, meeting family and whatnot, going around people's houses. I'm just always having to basically be in different locations. But let's get right into it. Yeah, before the video starts, if you guys could also leave a like on the video and subscribe. That will mean a lot to me, and also hit the notification bells and leave me your opinions of the match down there in the comment section below. But first thing we're going to go with the lineup. So first thing that happened, if you guys didn't know, Naby Keita was actually supposed to be starting up in the lineup, but he does get injured in the warm-up. So the lineup was a pretty strong lineup at the start. I was like, oh, you know, Naby Keita, Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum. The mid defense was basically the same. It was nothing changed really. The front three stayed the same. It was a very similar lineup. And then the bench looked very promising. And I think, if I'm being completely honest, the bench does look like probably the team that will start against Everton on Sunday. And obviously with Minamino as well, most likely starting as well. But obviously Naby Keita does get injured, and it means that James Milner does actually get put in place in midfield, which again, I wasn't too worried about. Obviously, I did want Naby Keita to start, but hopefully, you know, the one thing that we've known about Naby Keita is that he has had quite a few injuries since coming to Liverpool. And it's normally when he's in a good run of form. And that's what he's been lately. And hopefully, though, fingers crossed, his injury isn't that bad. But let's get right into the game anyway. So I was a little bit nervous, if I'm being completely honest. Sheffield United have been a team which I have had a lot of respect for this season. This season, I've had so much respect for them. I thought they were just a typical Brexit side, but I was very wrong about them. You know, they play nice football and good pressing and all that. And yeah, I was a bit worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I still thought we were going to win, but I was a little bit wary that maybe a potential 1-1 could happen. But anyway, getting into the game, we started things brilliantly. Sheffield United pressed very high up the pitch. They were trying to get in our faces. And around 4 minutes in, Van Dijk plays a brilliant long ball into Andy Robertson. And if I'm being completely honest, feel a little, sorry, not sorry. That's the best way I can describe it for Baldock, their right back. He slips, Andy Robertson's then through, and then plays a brilliant low-driven cross into Mohamed Salah. Salah gets in front of the defenders and just plays it in. Just takes a shot through the goalkeeper's leg. I think it may have gone through the defenders as well. I'm not entirely sure, but it definitely goes through Dean Henderson's legs, who I thought played quite well today. But makes it 1-0. Great start. The one thing that I did think we needed was an early goal, because Sheffield United we kind of saw it last time when we played against them. They have very good away form. Obviously, they did lose against City in the last match day, but apart from that, they haven't lost any other game away from home. So they're kind of a difficult side to play against. But if I'm being completely honest, 1-0 early goal, that is the thing that we needed. And from there, oh my days, today, I'm not even going to say long balls, because it was just amazing. The long passing, the long balls has bad connotations along with it, so I'm just going to say long passes. The long passes in behind were absolutely amazing. Honestly, that first half, it was just amazing. Just the whole game in general, the amount of link-up play, especially down that left, both the flanks, the 1-2s, when Firmino's coming in deep, laying it off to Robertson, and then Mane's getting involved, Henderson's getting involved, Gini Wijnaldum's getting it, the whole gang's getting involved. There was even times with Virgil van Dijk, for crying out loud, and even Joe Gomez were like, hey, you know what, I'm just going to be a striker. They just went up front, and it was just amazing to watch the fluidity and all of that. It was just amazing to see. And you know, we had so many chances, if I'm being completely honest. We had one where a ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold gets played in behind, and it was just brilliant. Ball gets played in behind, and then sorry, it was the cross. Sorry, I was mistaken. A cross gets played in, brilliant cross, and then Salah does very well to just get away from his marker. He was behind him, gets right in front of him, and then on his weak foot does a brilliant shot. And then Dean Henderson, all credit to him, does a brilliant acrobatic save, because there was a lot of power, there was a lot of pace on the ball, there was a lot of pace on the shot, there was low reaction time. It was a brilliant save, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, it was brilliant stuff. And then we were just dominating. I mean, after the goal we scored, they did have a good chance. They had a few good chances as well, but not really that many. And probably until the second half, there was one where I think it was Lundstrom, I believe, gets the ball, chests it, and then hits it, and then does a kind of, if you guys remember Fernando Torres against Blackburn, that kind of shot where he literally chests it, does a looping over the Alisson's left flat-footed, and it goes wide. And then McGoldbridge also had a good chance as well, but Alisson does an easy one-handed save, which goes out for a corner. But to be honest, they didn't really have that much. We dominated the possession, we dominated the ball, and it was just amazing. I mean, there was another brilliant chance from Trent. I think the ball plays into Trent, and Mane goes in front of the defender, does a little flick off into Salah, and Salah, which personally I thought he could have done a bit better with the shot, hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Well, he tried going for the near post, but I think it would have been better if he went towards the far post instead, because it would have been a much better shot, and it would have been a high quality chance. It would be. It's much easier. The goalkeeper's already positioned towards the near post. If you go towards the far post, it would have probably been more likely for him to actually score that. But then also Gini Wijnaldum, who I have thought he had a brilliant first half, especially. He had another brilliant chance, hits it over the bar. Could have done so much better. And one thing I also noticed as well, mainly. But yeah, we had so many chances in that first half. I probably missed a few, but we had so many chances. We were so dominant. And then even the second half rolled in, and it was just the same thing over again. I mean, one thing I did notice from Sheffield United, especially from set pieces, they were targeting Van Dijk so much. And I'm not talking even still, from defending, especially in that second half, there was one from a cross from Andy Robertson where it gets played in, and somehow it doesn't go in. I have no idea how it doesn't go in, but you can see that Van Dijk was getting his shirt pulled. If he goes down, it could be easily being given as a penalty. I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, I did have my prediction down as 3-0, but I'm not going to complain about it. But anyway, it gets pulled down. Could have had so many chances there. There was another one as well. There was so many crosses and corners, especially from corners and free kicks, where Van Dijk was getting his shirt pulled, especially even when these guys were getting their even from their corners, which they didn't have that many, Van Dijk was getting pushed. And I think one of them where they had a good chance, Van Dijk actually gets a foul for being pushed. But the chances were very good. We had loads of good chances. I was a bit worried though, because, one thing I would say though, from the first half, they did press up quite high at the pitch, and we created so much space in behind. We had so much space in midfield, out wide, just for them trying to press so high up the pitch. But then towards the second half, I kind of noticed them kind of dropping off, and not pressing as high as they normally do, which you could kind of tell from when Liverpool actually got the ball, and you could tell from the possession stats. You can have a look at the stats yourself. I believe Liverpool had about 75% possession, which was much less in the first half than it was in the second half. I'm pretty sure we had 970 passes. It was complete and utter domination. There was times where we'd be on the ball for at least a good 10-15 minutes, and Sheffield United were not touching the ball whatsoever. Sheffield United are a good side as well. You guys can even tell by the league table, they are a decent side, and they just looked like they couldn't handle us, if I'm being completely honest. And we had a few chances, obviously, Roberto Firmino having a shot which Coutinho-esque, I will say, but I've never seen him have that shot ever in his life. And I know some people were a bit complaining on Twitter and whatnot about his performance, but again, we'll get into the ratings afterwards anyway. But he takes a shot on the left-hand side, Coutinho-esque, and the amount of power he got onto that, and he manages just to get it wide. But again, good chances, quite good. And then obviously that freak one with Mohamed Salah, which I have no idea, it was a follow-up from a corner. Salah tries to cross it in, Van Dijk misses the header, and somehow, it was a really weird reaction from us when we were watching it. I thought, nothing's happened. Next thing you know, he hits the post, and then it going across the goal, and yeah, it was just a bit mad. It was a very freak opportunity. It's probably been one of Salah's weirdest goals. But then just before, about 25 minutes to go, around 64th, 65th minute, a brilliant counter-attack there from Liverpool, if I'm being completely honest. Brilliant counter-attack. The ball gets played into Sadio Mane, and he drives forward, and I thought there was Firmino there on the back post, I believe, and he cuts back inside, and he crosses it into Mohamed Salah. He was just outside the edge of the box, and I kind of thought he messed up the chance, but then Mane anyway, he thought he messed up the chance a little bit, but then Salah plays a beautiful ball that splits all the defenders and leaves Sadio Mane. It was so good that I generally thought it was offside. That's how good the ball was. And Mane wasn't. A brilliant run from Mane, a brilliant pass from Salah. I mean, it was like they were telepathic in that moment. And then the shot gets played, shot obviously by Mane, keeper makes saves, and then Sadio Mane just says, nah, mate, going for the jugular, whacks it into the top corner, into an empty net, makes it 2-0, and that was the game over. I mean, we had so many chances after that, you know. We had quite a few chances, but again, we just controlled the game. And this is the thing, I wanted Liverpool to get more goals, but at the end of the day, we've got, you know, after having so many fixtures, we kind of need a rest. And I love the game management, because one thing I will say, against Leicester, albeit it was a great result, 4-0, but if one thing goes the other way, we could have potentially had a few injuries. This game, it didn't look like we were going to get any injuries, but I'm not really too sure about Andy Robertson, if I'm being completely honest. It kind of looked, the way he came off, I'm not sure. I'll probably have to look at Jurgen Klopp's press conference afterwards, but I'm not too sure about if he's injured or whatnot. I'm hoping not, but at the same time, maybe Neco Williams could actually do a job there as well. But it didn't look too bad. It looked like he walked off fine, but it was just a bit weird the way he came off. But yeah, let's now get into the player ratings. And also before they did, you know, I'll put him part in the player ratings. Alisson Becker, for me, I'm actually going to say a 9 out of 10. His distribution was good. The saves that he made, he had to. There was one actually for the second goal where he does very well to actually keep the ball, because they tried to foul him basically, and he still managed to catch the ball and distributes it quickly. And Andy Robertson, I think, into Sadio Mane, and then that was how the chance created. It was brilliant. Brilliant save from McBurney as well, which he could have. I don't know really how to judge it. It was kind of like a poor shot, but then also a poor cross as well. But it was very good play from Sheffield United. Kept a clean sheet as well. Can't really complain about it. Same Andy Robertson. It's a bit of a weird one for me with the fullback. Obviously, he gets an assist. Does very well. Pretty decent overall. I do feel like sometimes his crossing could have been a bit better, but he's been held at a high regard anyway. But I still thought he played very well today. For me, it's going to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Same with Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez, I thought as well, played very well today. I mean, it was a bit mad when he went all the way up and just marauded forward on that right-hand side and got a corner. It was brilliant stuff. And Van Dijk and Joe Gomez have been amazing since. They remind me of the centre-back partnership that was a year ago. And yeah, they've been absolutely amazing, if I'm being completely honest. Says a lot about our defensive depth. You know, Joe Gomez comes in, brilliant. Joe Matip comes in, brilliant. Even Dan Lovren, you know, people have, you know, problems with him. He's even been brilliant this season. So, you know, and obviously Van Dijk speaks for himself. But yeah, I'm very happy with his performance. I'm going to say another 9 out of 10 for me. Virgil van Dijk gets a 10 out of 10. There was a brilliant counter-attack that these guys had, Sheffield United, and Van Dijk just sweeps up. And I think it was actually an error due to Joe Gomez, so that's why he doesn't get a 10 out of 10 for me. But Van Dijk plays a brilliant ball. He was always an outlet for the fullbacks, was a threat going forward, and also just solid staying back. For me, 10 out of 10 performance for me. Trent, I thought, again, another solid 9 out of 10 performance for me. I don't really feel like a lot of players had bad games, if I'm being completely honest. Solid. I mean, created so many chances for Mohamed Salah, Mane, from corners. He created so many chances, was solid defensively. There's a few times where he got caught over and overlap, but that was mainly towards the end, but helped in controlling the game a bit. So yeah, I'm going to say another 9 out of 10. By the way, the only thing with Robertson was that ball I think he tried doing to Joe Gomez. What the hell was that? I am not sure. But hopefully he hasn't been injured. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Now the midfield, I was very impressed with the midfield today. Very, very impressive. For me, Henderson gets a 10 out of 10. I do not care what anyone says. I'm not the biggest Henderson fan, but he played brilliantly today. Crossed well. Was always created an outlet going forward. Barely actually misplaced pass. Pressed very well high up the pitch. It was a brilliant performance today, in my opinion anyway, from Jordan Henderson. Brilliant stuff. James Milner for me, 8.5 out of 10. Again, was very, very good. I mean, the team was very good today. James Milner was very good. I could even push to a 9. But yeah, James Milner for me was very good. Barely made any, sometimes I have problems with James Milner. Sometimes he's a bit reckless, but he was very good today. 8.5 out of 10 for me. And then Gini Wijnaldum. First half was a 10 out of 10 performance. The way he was getting the ball from deep, dribbling, doing it, just passing the ball. He could have got a goal. He played brilliantly, especially in that first half. I do think his levels did drop in the second half, but he played brilliantly in that first half. The amount of dribbles he was doing, he was getting fouls. It was an amazing performance there from Gini Wijnaldum. So yeah, but then the second half out of the 10 was still a very good half, but again, it was probably 8 out of 10. So I'm going to level it out and say a 9 out of 10. But then also that's 9.5 out of 10. Because it was a very, very good half, first half from Gini Wijnaldum, in my opinion. Now, Mohamed Salah, 10 out of 10. I do not care what anyone says. I know some people are hating on Salah, some people are not, and all of this, but I'm being completely honest. Today, Salah was amazing. He created so many chances. His passing was very good today. His dribbling, still think he needs a bit of improvement on, and he's still not at the level that he was, obviously, a few years ago. He's obviously got the goal, got a brilliant assist, was always a threat going forward, and we could have potentially had more goals. He could have got an assist or a goal if Van Dijk headed it, or if it was just a little bit, we've got a bit more lucky. Had a brilliant chance. That was 2 saves from Dean Henderson. He played brilliantly for me today. For me, 10 out of 10. He's personally my man of the match for today. But yeah, I thought he played a brilliant game today, Mohamed Salah. Then Sadio Mane, bit of a weird one for me, if I'm being completely honest. I thought, obviously got the goal, did very well, created some very good chances. But then sometimes his crossing today wasn't as good as it normally is. But obviously it was a good link up with Andy Robertson down there on that left hand side. Even Roberto Firmino as well. I do feel like he still had a very good game. So I'm going to actually say 9 out of 10 performance for me for Sadio Mane. Now Firmino was our worst performance, still played very well. Obviously had that very good shot. Could have got a goal. There was one cross that got played in from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I have no idea how the hell he didn't actually get a shot off and actually score that goal. And then it comes back out. Salah takes a brilliant shot. And they go Dean Henderson, who played very well for them, if I'm being completely honest, gets a brilliant save. And then the substitutes, Lallana, decent cameo. Didn't really do much, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just going to say 7 out of 10. Can't really say much. Can I say an A? I'm not really sure. Who else came on? Divock Origi, again, didn't really do much apart from towards the end, which was probably one of the only touches he had, apart from on the left-hand side for a little bit, but didn't really happen from it. But he does a brilliant tackle from defence. I've never seen him do that, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant from there. On the left-hand side, just manages just to pick up the pieces and just get it out, and it was brilliant stuff. So 7 out of 10 again. But again, it was good cameo. And then Harvey Elliott, 16 out of 10 because he's 16 years old and he made his debut, so I'm happy for him. But he didn't get a touch of the ball. But yeah, Liverpool now have gone a year. You've heard this correctly. We have gone a whole 365 days without losing a game. This team is by far, and I've said it so many times, for the best Liverpool team I've ever seen. If you guys agree with me, please make sure to leave a like button, leave a comment on your opinions on the game. And subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Yeah, it's your boy Ojo Isame. Liverpool are 14 points clear of Man City, 13 points clear of Leicester with a game in hand. It's your boy Ojo Isame here, and I hope you guys have a very nice day.